Hey YouTube, so this is the project that I'm going to build up today, I think. It is an old Raleigh Grand Prix that I found on the curb when a bike store was basically cleaning out its storage. It's an older bike, and you can tell that by the badge. That badge is probably worth a little bit of money on eBay. You can see that it's a typical steel bike, but I know it looks rough, but actually it's quite beautiful. It has very, very nice lugs. Obviously you need some tires and a fair bit of cleaning. It has a cotter crankset in very rough shape, so I'm probably gonna pop that off. I think I've got another cotter crankset that I can just kind of slip on there. I'm just gonna build this into like a beater single speed. Look at that rust. To check to see if the seat post is seized. New tires. I'm not going to put new tires on it because it's not going to be worth putting new tires on it, but I'll find some usable tires from the parts bin. And other than that, I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of rust, but the rust, there's no like frame integrity issues. And obviously, I'm going to need some handlebar wrap. But it'll clean up okay, and once I wash it and give it and clean it up, I think it's gonna look. Well, actually, it looks surprisingly nice. So let's see how it looks. And here it is. So that took a couple hours, a little bit longer than I thought it would, but I think it came out okay. I mean, it is what it is. It's just an old steel single speed around town bike beater. It's certainly not going to win any beauty contests, but it's a kind of bike I really like. I'll talk about what I did. So I found some tubes and tires lying around in the parts pile, so I put those on. Just tried to clean up the axles. The crankset was very rusty, so I actually had another cotter crankset. Unfortunately, I have a cotter remover, which made life a little bit easier. So I swapped that out, and I converted the crank into a single speed. And then, as you can see back here, with some of the freewheel clusters, what you can do is take a couple of the chain tools and actually disassemble it, and then put one of the smaller gears on, screwed on there. You can kind of see how that fits in, and that's one way to turn a multi-gear cluster into a single speed cog freewheel. Let's see what else. Fortunately, the seat post was not seized, and because it's chrome, a lot of that rust came off of there. Likewise, the stem was not seized. Put on some new grip tape, which I think looks great on these old bikes. I found an old Weinman 750 brake, center pull brake, and I had to install that Diacomp cable stop. But it's nice because there's an adjuster on that, and oftentimes the setup doesn't have an adjuster, and it's really hard to get these center pull brakes dialed in. But that all worked out, and it stops decently well. What else can I say? Lubed up the bottom bracket. Just gave it a clean. I might hit this reflector tape with some heat from a hair dryer, and then try to get that out. But as you can see, I mean, it is just a typical urban single speed kind that I used to build by the dozens back in New York. Up here, they sell decently well, mostly by people who have a carbon fiber bike and just want to have a bike that they can, ride to the bar and park outside and not have to worry about it. But I think it came out pretty well, and so there you go. There's the Raleigh, and we'll see if it sells, and fund another project. Thanks.